Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers through the power of inclusion. We highlight the incredible abilities and achievements of the disabled throughout Jamaica through our extraordinary talent exposure, mentoring, and uplifting corner with your host Tracy-Ann Williams and the radical Robert Blake. This and every Monday at 5 to 6 p.m. on More 91 points.
A pleasant good evening to one and all. And how are we today? It is the final Monday in the beautiful month of June. And guess what? You know what they said? Sometime all good things, sometime comes to an end. But of course, we continue to salute the fathers throughout this wonderful month of June. When we get into July, it's another month for another time. And of course, those who are Americans, for whatever reason, and you might be getting ready to celebrate your independence, to what I heard reliably informed it's going to be this Friday. So we from here at this station want to wish all those who are, visiting with us for the first time or more, you maybe repeat, happy independence when it comes. And as I said, I heard it's not going to be on the Sabbath, which is going to be the 4th, but it's going to be on the Friday. A day before I was informed. However, welcome to Disability Beyond Border. And just in case you are just joining us for the first time, this is the program that allows persons living with disability to be able to express and share exactly what is happening and tell you exactly, what to look forward to. And again, guess what? We have a lot in store for you. So without any further ado, we're going to go roll right into it. And here we go. Thank you.
Everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us again on Disability Beyond Borders. Now we are approaching the end of the month of June. Next Monday, when we are here on Disability Beyond Borders, it will be the 6th of July, and of course, it will be an important day. Now, for today's program, I am going to speak on something that is very present in today's society, something that affects all age groups. And this topic is a topic of PTSD. Now, the topic of PTSD is a sensitive topic because whenever it's spoken about, persons normally assume that it is just centered on and around persons with mental illnesses. However, this is not the case, as PTSD stands for the acronym stands for post traumatic stress disorder. So we'll break it down into pieces, starting with the post. So post is something that happens after. So you have pre, which would happen before. However, it's not pre, it's post. So it's happening after. Traumatic can refer to an experience that you had, something that left you feeling shock. Probably it has caused you to feel frightened. It has also caused you to not recover from whatever that thing is. So it's something that leaves a lasting impression on you and not a good one because, as we say, it is traumatic. So each time that you remember this experience, it causes you to feel weighed down, or it causes you to feel saddened, or it even causes you to hide away from persons. So we have been through the post traumatic, now we're at the stress. Because seeing that it has such a negative impact on your life, it allows you to probably withdraw from your everyday activities. It may also allow you to avoid persons. Of course, it will cause mood swing. It will cause you to do a lot of overthinking, and it may have you feeling on edge, as we may call it. So you're on alert, looking out. So post traumatic stress disorder. So now that we know what PTSD is, we can move on to say that it is a mental health condition that may develop after someone experiences something frightening, shocking, or even life threatening. So, this experience doesn't automatically mean that someone will develop PTSD, because many persons may recover from whatever trauma they have been through, while others may continue to experience symptoms of such experience. Now, what we are concerned with is what may cause PTSD. So, there are various things that may cause PTSD. So, some traumatic experiences may include serious motor vehicle accident. So, you were in an accident and probably the car had flipped while you were in there. So, you are sleeping at night and you are awakened by the flashback of being in that accident. So, PTSD can also be referred to as having flashbacks of a traumatic event. So, it can be a serious motor vehicle accident, it can be a physical or sexual assault, domestic violence, childhood abuse or neglect. It may be from natural disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, or flood. We can recall the other day when Melissa came, we were told that there were going to be social workers going around to talk to persons about their experiences. Why? Because we don't want persons to have PTSD. So we want them to talk about it, to express how they're feeling, sorry, so that going on further in life, whenever that event is spoken of, they will not get withdrawn, neither will they have anxiety, or will they be on alert and cause mood swings? Okay, so hence the reason that we had social workers going around to offer counseling. PTSD can also be caused or developed from house fires, from a violent crime or robbery that one has experienced. It can also be developed from the sudden or traumatic death of a loved one. It can also develop for persons who are in the military or the police force, and of course, medical emergencies or life threatening injuries. So, now for some persons, PTSD doesn't have to be based on something that has happened to you or something you have experienced yourself. However, it can be witnessing a traumatic event. Now, we have heard of the earthquake in Venezuela. And now, knowing that Jamaica has experienced a few earthquakes over the period of this year, some persons watching that may experience PTSD, not because they were there, but they have seen the dangers that the earthquake can do, and they have experienced an earthquake already. So now, looking back, they are alert as to what if the earthquake is going to be this devastating, etc. Now they are thinking on it, they're overthinking about it, etc. Now, some of the symptoms that one may experience while having PTSD is reliving the trauma. So you're going to have flashbacks, which make you feel as though the event is happening again. The other day, when we had those strong winds in the night, a lot of persons made mention to Hurricane Melissa. They cried. They stated that it felt as though it was another Hurricane Melissa that they were experiencing. Another symptom is avoidance. So persons may avoid places, they may avoid people and even conversations that reminds them of this traumatic event. Then we think about changes in mood and the way they think. So they may become detached or locked off From families and friends, they may lose interest and, of course, struggle to experience positive emotions. Sometimes they may even blame themselves for the traumatic event that has occurred. And last but not least, the increased alertness. So, of course, persons with PTSD may be on edge. They're easily startled. They may have difficulty sleeping. They may become more irritable and have angry outbursts, which makes it harder for them to concentrate. And these symptoms, of course, last for more than a month and they will affect work, school relationships, and even daily functioning. Now, as stated earlier on, PTSD is not only experienced by adults, children can also experience PTSD. So, of course, if your child starts acting up whenever you probably make mention of a particular movie, for example, and it's a scary movie, perhaps, you may want to have the conversation to find out why are you acting differently when I have mentioned this movie, etc. If it's a family member that you realize usually comes around, but know that family member is withdrawn, you may want to reach out to him or her to find out what's happening. Is it that you need someone to talk to? Suggest a social worker, guidance counselor for the person to speak with, because at times we can look at a person's outside and we don't know what they're experiencing. So, of course, it's important to show a little love here and there, a little compassion, and, of course, sympathy. Now, another question that is oftentimes asked is who is at greater risk? Remember, I said earlier that both children and adults will suffer from PTSD. Now, PTSD can affect just about anyone. So, it can increase the risk based on if there is repeated exposure to whatever trauma it is. If it may be a childhood trauma, uh, it may also be previous mental health issues. It may be ongoing stress that is being experienced after the traumatic event. It can also be a family history of anxiety and depression. So while PTSD may be caused from a traumatic experience, it can also be as a result of anxiety and depression. Now, you'll ask, seeing that we've been through all that, how does one cope with PTSD? How do you handle it? Now, it is something that is treatable. However, you would need the right support. Right support in terms of seeking professional help. And another thing about persons with PTSD, after a while, they start drowning in depression. So if you realize that Tom usually comes out and you normally chill with Tom on Monday nights and you realize that Tom is getting withdrawn, please reach out to Tom because it may be that Tom is experiencing something that he may not want to share with you. However, if you suggest a professional help, then Tom may be able to express himself to that person. The next thing after seeking professional help, you can also talk to someone you trust, a family member, pastor, to reduce the feeling of isolation and to also have that sense of community. Now, another thing you can do is learn relaxation techniques. So, deep breathing, meditation, even prayer, of course, exercising, gentle stretching can also calm the body's response to stressor. The most important thing you can do if you are experiencing PTSD and or anxiety or depression, you can be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Everything takes time. Everything takes time, and healing is not a race. So, of course, recovery often happens gradually. So, it takes hard days and good days, but we work through both days in order to reach our healing. So be patient with yourself. Family members and friends can help. So you can listen without judgment. You can avoid saying things like, oh, you'll get over it. When I get over it, I'm done. That's not something for you to think about. Avoid saying things like that. Use encouraging words. Of course, you can encourage them to seek professional treatment. You can learn more about PTSD, and you can be more patient with your family member. So, here is a message for you. Sometimes the greatest gift you can offer anyone is just your presence. So, if you're listening today and you recognize these symptoms, whether of your family member, a friend, or even yourself, please know that you are not weak and you are certainly not alone. PTSD is a real condition, it is not a character flaw. Seeking help is what you should do because it is a sign of courage and not weakness. Healing for you is possible. With proper care, support, time, many people will learn to manage the symptoms and fulfill a meaningful life. Remember in Psalms 34, verse 18, it says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. So, whether your healing journey includes faith, professional counseling, support from families and friends, or all these together, just remember that the help is available. And before we go today, you can also offer your help by supporting the Cornwall Action Club, which is having its cake sale on Friday, July 31. Now, the cake sale has two variety of boxes. So a gold cake box, which is for 2,500, and it includes a cheesecake or black forest, a donut, a cookie, a cupcake, and water. Or you can choose from the silver cake box for $2,000, which includes red velvet or chocolate mocha cake, donuts, cookie, and water. And of course, the proceeds go directly to supporting the disabled community. If you have further questions, you can feel free to call Miss Natalie Thompson at 876 320 4067. Again, if you're interested in supporting the cake sale or if you have additional questions, please reach out to Miss Natalie Thompson at 876 320 4067. And of course, we have a giveaway prize, which is an air fryer. So, of course, we love your support. We crave your support as the proceeds will go in aid of the disabled community. And that's it from me today for you as we get back to taking care of our mind, body, and spirit. Remember, your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Over to you, Mr. Blake.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Dr. Yachel Samuels William.
All right, thank you very much from my co-host, Light Hand. However, we go straight to doctor without any further delay, and let's hear what the doctor herself professionally has to say to us. Some things that we might be mindful, and some things that we need to do. Over to you, Doctor Williams.
Is Dr. Yachel Samuels Williams from Life Back Wellness Center. Today, we'll be talking about hand, foot, and mouth disease. And this is something that affects persons in Jamaica from time to time. And so it's something we definitely need to know about. So, hand, foot, and mouth disease is a viral disease. It's very contagious and it's usually seen in young children. So, it usually affects children most times below the age of 10, but you'll find that children around the age of 5 tend to be more susceptible. So the younger they are, the more likely it is that they will contract hand, foot, and mouth. You find that usually over the age of 8 to 10 years old, you don't get a lot of persons being affected by it, even though it is something that can affect adults, right? Usually, for hand, foot, and mouth, it is spread by exposure. So you'll have somebody else who has it, and then your child is exposed to that person, and then they contract it within 1 to 2 days of being exposed. And the symptoms, because it's a virus, you'll find that it's something that will resolve on its own. It usually resolves within 7 to 10 days. So usually we'll say maybe around a week, you'll find that the rashes, the symptoms will go away on their own with or without any treatment because it is viral. So usually for hand, foot, and mouth, what you'll find is that your child may be presenting with a rash, and that's a typical rash. So most times the rash is like some very small red bumps, and they'll occur on the hand, foot, and mouth usually. Or you might find it has some little water bumps that will appear on the skin, but usually again in the hand, foot, and mouth. And that is what will be your clue that definitely this is what is going on. And you'll find that it's not always equal. Sometimes you might find that the hand is more affected by the foot or more affected by the mouth. It doesn't have to affect each of these places as equally. So that's something to bear in mind as well. Because it's a viral illness and it's something that will resolve on its own, you'll find that your doctor will not be giving you antibiotics, which is what most persons will come in and ask for. They'll say, boy, my child is sick and I need an antibiotic. No, it's not an antibiotic to treat hand, foot, and mouth disease. It will resolve on its own. What we do is what we call symptomatic treatment, meaning that we will treat whatever the child has. So you'll find that if the child is having that skin rash, as we spoke about, then we can give something to help with that rash. So it helps with that itchiness of the rash, so it's not so uncomfortable. Some of the children may be presenting with fever as well, which is one of the very regular complaints. And a lot of times we'll be giving fever medications to help with that. There are some children who will be having like cold symptoms with it. So they'll be having maybe a cough or a cold, a runny nose. Then definitely we will be giving something for that as well. And for the smaller children, you might find that they are very, very irritable because it might be a bit uncomfortable. You might find that they might have just reduced appetite, or they might not be so active, they might be droopy. So those are symptoms to look out for as well. All right, for the kids, because it tends to affect smaller children and they really don't understand. So you'll find that they'll cough on each other, they'll scratch the different rashes, and they'll touch other kids, or they'll touch surfaces that other children will be exposed to, and they can contaminate toys, they can contaminate surfaces, and this is how you'll find that it spreads from one child to the other. So what we'll normally recommend is that if your child has hand, foot, and mouth disease, that the best thing to do is to keep that child away from other small children, because it tends to be very contagious in that age group. Remember what we said, that it tends to affect children under 10 more likely than persons who are over 10. Okay? And sometimes you'll find that even though the rashes go away, that long after, you might have the spots remaining on the skin. That's fine. Those spots are not contagious, and you can communicate with your doctor and see if there's anything that can be done about it at that time. But during the sickness, your doctor can give things to relieve the itchiness and the discomfort that your child is having. And so if you have a child that you realize is having fever, a rash that's affecting hand, foot, mouth, usually very itchy, or cold symptoms with it, child is very uncomfortable, not eating, not playing, then please don't just stay home and say, okay, it's going to resolve on its own. Please go and get some help for that child. A lot of them are not able to speak, so they can't communicate their discomfort. Please go and get some medical assistance, and the doctor can definitely help you out. And so this is something that we need to know in Jamaica, because from time to time, hand, foot, and mouth affects our population. It's very, very common here. Okay, so that's it for me this week. This is Dr. Yochel Samuels Williams. Thank you so much for listening to this radio station, very educational. And if you need to find me, you can find me at Life Pack Wellness Center. That's on 92 Barnett Street, upstairs J&J Pharmacy on the 4th floor, or 18 Mullines Road, Kingston 10, Belrose Plaza. You can also call at 876-582-2829 or 876-326-8071. You can also reach us on Facebook at Life Pack Wellness or on Instagram at lifepack_wellness. And just so you know, on July 10th, that's July 10, 2026, at our Barnett Street location, that's 92 Barnett Street, upstairs J&J Pharmacy on the 4th floor. We'll be offering a free health fair. We'll be doing free general checkup, free prescription, selected medications will be given free of cost as well. And we will be offering half price on our full body scan. So this is your opportunity to get your full checkup done at a much reduced or no price. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good evening.
Dr. Williams, and I like the bonus that was thrown in at the end. Again, on the ear for itself, July the 10th, not too far from now. Again, you can go for a scan, full body scan. You get that at off price, but they're also having an health fair, which simply means there are certain basic things that will be done, and you'll get that done free of cost. It is just right here on Bonnie Street in St. James, Montego Bay, Jamaica, to be exact, upstairs to what I heard, the J&J Pharmacy says it's not very far, it's very close. So those of you who know Martin Street, please look out for the health and wellness. And of course, it will be done on July the 10th. Of course, we are going to see if we can find our good up father. Yes, man, 'cause we're still in a wonderful month of June, and we're still using the opportunities to celebrate our fathers, especially those who have two various ads and time. They would have still been there for their child or their children. So just if in case you are just joining us on Disability Beyond Bother, we would have heard from our co-host talk about PSTD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And then here we are with Dr. Ann Foot and Mouth. And of course, she's alluding us to understand that this mainly affect our children. So please, it's kind of summer now, we know that, and a lot of graduation, various events are happening. Please be mindful, children, guardian, caregivers of our children. If you see any kind of rash, just don't take it for granted. Please go to your general practitioner just to have it checked out and just have the situation on the control. Of course, we are going to take a quick break, and then right after that, we'll see if we're able to locate a very special gentleman who will share with us his role as being a father and something else very special coming up. Please go nowhere. We'll be right back as we take a quick break.
Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers through the power of inclusion. We highlight the incredible abilities and achievements of the disabled throughout Jamaica through our extraordinary talent exposure, mentoring, and uplifting corner with your host Tracy-Ann Williams and the radical Robert Blake. This and every Monday at 5 to 6 p.m. on More 91.7 FM. Call us at 876-610-8104. That's 876-610-8104. Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers.
Hi, this is Calvin Shaw, and you're listening to More FM 91.7, the station that drives strong community energy. Hi, this is Calvin Shaw, and you're listening to More FM 91.7, the station that drives strong community energy.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much and welcome back. And again, it's more 91.7 where we drive strong community energy. And of course, we're going to see if we're able to locate Sir Morris, who will just for a few share with us, what's his role like being a father. And we learn a little bit about his story, his journey, and exactly what we're up against. Good afternoon, sir.
Good evening.
Finally, right?
Finally, technology.
Welcome, sir, to more 91.7. And of course, you're live both on Facebook, YouTube, and those who are in their regular car that are traveling to and fro are able to hear. So, sir, just give us, a minute or two. Tell us who you are, what you're about, and of course, your role being a dad. Because I'm sure that there are still persons who are dad, and I'm sure that you might have other challenges that you might let us know about. Because, sometimes persons do things that not persons with disability are not necessarily people who can raise children and do what is necessary. And I'm sure your story will allude them to let them understand that while you may have a challenge, you still is a dad. Isn't that so, sir?
One of the best one in the world.
All
Without any
right. So
apology.
you mean number one daddies. What should we say to the
Yes.
world? All right. All yours, Sir
So
Morris.
in
Tell us a
this
little bit
world,
about
one of
yourself.
the best.
Thank you very much, sir. So introduce yourself to us and the audience and just give us a brief, story
All
right
right.
into you being the dad.
Okay. First, I want to give God thanks for this privilege. I wake up this morning and realize I was alive, so I continue living. Once I'm alive, I'm going to continue to live. I also want to greet everyone in the reach of my voice, wherever you are on this beautiful island of Jamaica, or wherever you are, anywhere in the world that you're is today listening. I greet you and happy belated Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers. Yes, okay, my name is Liston Morrison. I am a chef by professional and many other things. I am also a man of the faith and a father of three children. I hate to say kids, okay? Okay.
Is that because they are growing?
So, no, it's this children, child,
All
okay?
right. Got
Not
you.
kids. All right.
True.
Yeah, we're not animals, okay? It's, so fortunately, I have gained a lot of experience doing my culinary skills and earn respect in various parts of the world and make waves. I found myself with a challenge concerning my eyes, which I've been fighting for more than 20 years. And today, I realize I have a challenge of vision impairment. I am a member of the Jamaica Society for the Blind and CDA. But I have realized that it didn't hinder me from doing what I have to do. But in 2003, 2023, when COVID started, I started to cook privately. Hello?
No, man, we're hearing you. You're live. Go ahead. We're hearing you. Go ahead.
Right. Yes. So while cleaning, I have an unfortunate accident where I had an accident with my eyes, and from there, I developed a challenge. And in Jamaica, the stigma is very high, but it's not deterred me at all. I walk by faith and not by sight. But based on the research, um, I am told that by my specialist that it can be corrected to the extent to be better than what it is now. So far, they need to do a surgery. And for the past 3 years, it's like a volcano eruption here and there, and like walking through raindrops. I am a father. I have my son goes to a prominent primary school in Spanish Town, and the other one is about to enter in also. And so I take it a pleasure of taking my son every day to school and from school. And remember now, I'm motherless, fatherless. My only sister died. I have few relatives, but they're not sensitive to the challenge that I face. Because if you don't know that I am not able to see clearly, you will not know because I do everything just the same. I wash, cook, clean, bake, fry, roast, everything because I believe in myself and not disability. I must say this to
Right.
you that I would say that that there are more disabled people who are able than we who are not able because they refuse to understand that when you refuse to accept that we are not cash out, then you have a challenge. You're disabled because you're disabled to understand. And so society in Jamaica is very hostile to us. Sometimes the blind boy pass, look about the blind man, and it's very embarrassing if you're a personal person, but I'm not. I take
Right.
it with stride. And so it's for the organization themselves or discharge to see that we are doing pretty well. Even them at times have a challenge of disability also because they are yet to understand how Jesus did it. So for me, I want to take my candle and light this world that is in darkness. And the darkness that this world is that they're not able to realize that they're so disabled to understand those who are able, yes, but have a challenge. And
Right.
my my task in life is to prove that I can do anything through Christ that strengthened me.
Right. With that being
So
said, Sir Morris, in the interest of time, how can
yes,
persons make contact if persons want to help, to assist in whichever way? The fact that you're a dad and you pretty much
all
catering for
right,
your boys and your children who are grown and you definitely carry them to school, but you develop a medical challenge with allow you with a vision impairment, how can persons reach out to you so we can have that information, please?
all right, okay. We actually launched a GoFund last October, but because of Melissa, people were distracted. It's still there. It needs to be pulled and refreshed. But we have opened an account. An account was open for me at the Jamaica National Branch in Spanish Town at 28 Wellington Street. For anyone wherever you are in the world, you can make your donation there. Your contribution. We're trying to raise 1.5 million for each eye to have them done. And so, with the kindness of anyone with your hand that is far reaching, you can make a donation to the account which I've already sent
Right, we'll have it posted
for
from our
them.
side so persons can get it. But you said there is a
All right.
GoFundMe out there. Is there anything else on any social media that you can refer to? But how can persons contact you in person to make sure that you're not an AI or better yet a robot and
Okay.
you're a live person who is sharing your story?
Very good. All right. Now, anyone wherever in the world, you can contact me at this number 455 8460. I repeat, 876 455 8460. Any time of the day. You can see me on WhatsApp, and I'm also on Facebook, and I can be reached at this number. You can call me, and I give you all the verification to make sure that you get it right. I'm here to inform you of the way forward.
All right. Any final word to the fathers who are listening?
Okay. I would like to say to all the fathers, I will say to you Any man that does not take care of his child is less than an infidel. No matter what your circumstances will be, fathers, please stay close to your children. Go to school, go to PTA meetings. Don't be a two-time visit at school. You go only go on registration and when graduation. Please play a role in your children's life. Love them, especially the boys. Let them see you as their role models.
Yes.
As I have done, I am also the president of the PTA Association. Tomorrow I'll be attending graduation, encouraging other children and fathers to
Yes.
play a role in their children's life. I love my children. I guard them. Be careful what you allow them to watch at home. Be careful how you demonstrate your attitude. But a father is the greatest influencer in a child's life. And remember, you fathers, a mother cannot father a child, either a father mother a child. A father is a father, and a mother is a father. A mother is a female, and a father is a male and a man. So I'm encouraging all of you. It's not only money that take care of a child, but it takes a sense of decency and dignity and to teach your child the way how he should walk. And I'm doing fine. You want some tooting? Contact me, I'll help you.
All right. Thank you very much, Sir Morris. Please, you do have yourself a great afternoon. And this is how we leave it with Sir Morris on Moore 91.7. And he would have just shared briefly what was it like being, playing his role as a dad. And the last thing he said, which is very encouraging, is also the PTA president of the particular school that one of his son attended, which is very, very encouraging. And of course, just to wrap up his testimony in the space of a minute or a second, he will just share with us that 2003 thereabout, he would have had an encounter with chemical, and during that time, this was during when COVID was pretty much rampant around, then this would have also affected his eyes. And because of that, now he needs to do a special kind of surgery. So while being a dad and continue his role, he didn't neglect because he has a disability. And as he said, he's a chef by profession and he loved to cook. But I'm the one who love to do the eating. And of course, once it cook, then of course we will participate. Of course, in the interest of time, let's see if we're able to find Sir Simpson on the mentoring and upliftment corner and hear what words of encouragement he has to say to us now while we enroll in the wonderful time of summer. Please go nowhere. We'll be right back and let's see if the next voice you hear is Sir Simpson on the mentoring and upliftment corner. This is more 91.7 where we drive strong community energy, energy, energy.
Disability Beyond Borders, breaking all barriers through the power of inclusion. We highlight the incredible abilities and achievements of the disabled throughout Jamaica. Through our extraordinary talent exposure, mentoring, and uplifting corner,